start. It's 4 lines from the end of that top paragraph on page Ches, on the wide lines. The line begins with the word atzmut, sechel, klal. It would appear superficially that we're revisiting the same principle again. We're saying that all the koiches manifest themselves in different ways, in different situations, different places. So we already determined that quite a while before, that the koiches, and the koich ha-sechel is mislabish only in the moyach, and so forth. But now we are actually speaking from a different angle, as we discussed yesterday. And to put it quite clearly, there are two elements that allow and bring the various aspects of the nefesh into the goof. Even though that is saying that koiches, like koich ha-sechel, is an actual definitive koyach as it comes from the nefesh. It is not a ha'ora of the nefesh. It is a koyach by itself that is identified as sechel. Yet this koyach can only function within an environment that has a nefesh quality. Just as initially we said the nefesh contains koiches, and it's not to say that the nefesh contains koiches unrelated to itself. The nefesh contains koiches, and it is all within itself related to what nefesh is. Similarly, when the koiches come to expression, to revelation, each koyach associates with its particular particular abode, the brain and the heart and the hands and so forth. Within that requirement itself, there is also a general aspect that allows the koyach to come. While the koyach is misgala in the brain, not independently. There's a brain, so the koyach is misgala. The brain is within the head. The head is providing a chayas kloli, a general environment that is suitable for brain. What's called Ayin v'chayas ha-nefesh. In other words, when the sechel begins to function, it does not feel to be out of kilter, completely out of its environment. I function independently of the environment. That is not the case. There is an environment that invites the inyan haseichel. This is the oil b'chayis nefesh. As we explained yesterday, chayis nefesh, life-giving element of the nefesh, is present throughout the whole body, in the foot and in the head. Yet the foot does not provide, the chayis that's in the foot does not provide an environment for seichel. There the chayis nefesh provides only a minimal aspect of chayis, to keep the foot alive and not, I said, not to fall apart. Whereas in the head, it provides a chayis environment, a nefesh environment. So that when the koyach haseichel is mislabish in the brain, it actually senses and being at home. The environment itself is certainly totally suitable for that function. And then, by extension, we're saying the same thing is true when the higher koyach haseichel is mislabish in the koyach hatanua, koyach haseichel is mislabish in the foot, and mislabish in the hand, and so forth, or in midas. Even though it is the koyach haseichel that then guides these lower koyachs, but the lower koyachs themselves have to be suited for the type of seichel that manifests itself in them. They have to be proper home, proper housing, so that the seichel element that is mislabish, that is revealed in the midas, is a different kind of seichel element than the seichel the way it is in the brain. And then further down, the seichel element that's mislabish in the lower koyches, in the hand, kechatnua, and so forth, and also a different level of the seichel. So I said we're going to start inside. The word begins atzmut haseichel. That's 4 lines from the end of the paragraph, the wide lines. The etzem or mahus haseichel hu b'meach sheberosh davke. So what's mislabish in the hand is koyach haseichel hamaisi, the seichel of action. Let's give that a little bit of a definition. Seichel hamaisi, the koyach hatnui, the koyach is a koyach in the hand. Seichel hamaisi means the seichel that makes sense of certain movements. Now these movements are not, as we always say, it's not robotic, but they make sense. This movement makes sense. This is seichel hamaisi, but it's a seichel that justifies, explains a certain action, not a seichel that conceptualizes, of life and of emes and reality. The koyach hamaisi, let's say, it's mislabish. The seichel is mislabish in the hand and directs the hand, the koyach hatnua, to draw a picture. As we mentioned many times, the hand, even after it's drawing the picture, is relating only to the rendition of the picture on the piece of paper, not the concept of the picture independently, and just as a concept. The hand does not draw a picture in a vacuum. So therefore, this is not at all in the level of the seichel per se. In seichel, in the hand, there is etzem or mahus haseichel, atzmut musa sechel. This is where the total concept is formulated.
Now, what does it mean that the hand doesn't draw in a vacuum?
It means that in order to draw, you have to have a pencil and a paper.
Ah, a vacuum is like just like without anything.
Right. It doesn't conceptualize it. Seichel conceptualize. I want to have a picture like that. The hand does not have that. V'chein b'sha'arei koiches. At the end of that line. The same is true by all other koiches. K'moy as an example, hamidos. The midos are primarily in the heart, and then the midos are mislabish and revealed in the other koiches and the other parts of the guf. Like for example, if you do a dover shel chesed, you give tzedakah. This is the midas ha-chesed mislabish in the hand, in the koich hatnuah, that activates the hand to do this devar chesed. But there's a fundamental difference between the midas ha-chesed, the way it is manifest, it is sensed in the heart, and the way it is manifest in the hand. The hand also senses the inyan of giving, but not in any way to the same extent as the heart does. The koyach hatnuah guf, and then if you go down to the very lowest of all the koyachs, which is the koyach hatnuah, the koyach of movement of the hand, shenimtza biyad v'gam b'regel, which is present in the hand and also present in the foot. It is not equal in these two examples of koyach hatnuah. The yikar koyach hatnuah lifil v'las is dover, where the principle of the core of the koyach hatnuah lifil, to affect v'las is dover, and to do something, hu biyad, is in the hand. Umash bo b'regel, and of this koyach hatnuah that comes into the foot, hu behiluch levad. That's a koyach hatnuah that relates to walking only, and not to creating anything. Behainu, which means that according to the quality of the kelim, kain misamtzim, to that extent, is misamtzim, is contracted. Oy b'chayis ha-nefesh. The oil of nefesh bahem in them, shemismayit madrega madrega, where it is reduced from one madrega to another madrega. Again, I hope we get the subtle point here. The koyach hatnuah has various qualities, various capabilities. They said the plain movement, walking, or koyach hatnuah that can actually focus onto an object and build something and create something. Las is to do something. to do something, as an example, and it's very, very low level, still it's an example. The foot can kick. The hand can also throw or move something in an controlled way. But the Ayin in the head, when he wants to move something, it moves it, not kicks it. It's actually accomplishing a certain task. This Ayin of lifil dover, to accomplish and do something, this is an element in the koyach hatnuah that is of a finer, of a nefesh, has a nefesh quality to it, rather than a goof quality. It's not the goof. It can only just kick it off. You're my way, get out. Nefesh views and sees the entire reality. If this doesn't belong here, it doesn't belong here, it actually takes it and moves it. Let's understand the difference between moving it and shoving it off. We always speak of the principle that there is a reactive element in a person's actions and there is a proactive element. Reactive element is, this is bothering me, so I react by pushing it off. Proactive is, when I can see this is the right place where it should be. The koyach hatnuah should be yad. Surely the identification of the right place where it should be is not in the koyach hatnuah, this is in the sechel. But the koyach hatnuah relates, the koyach hatnuah in the hand relates to that quality of movement. That there is a right place where it should be and I'm moving it. Whereas the foot does not relate to it. They're both koyach hatnuah. The determination where it should be and so forth, that is not in the koyach hatnuah. But the hand has the koyach hatnuah at a much higher and has a more nefesh element than the foot. And the distinction between them is due to the level and the quantity of life element that is manifest in them. The foot and the hand are both physical entities. And movement from their perspective is totally unrelated to them. The physical entity itself does not know what it means to move. The whole movement phenomenon, this is due to the nefesh that is mislabish in these limbs. The nefesh and the nefesh that mislabish in these limbs provides the environment for the koyach hatnuah, for the various koyches that are manifest here. The nefesh provides the environment. You would then think, what's the difference? It provides the same environment for the hand and for the foot and for the hand. You say no. The environment that the nefesh provides is also different and distinct to each one of these locations, to each one of these limbs. The amount of sense of life, of chayus, Let us step back a bit and try to identify and define this. What is it meant by life and chayes? It's in similar line as I said before in this proactive and reactive, but that is even on a higher level. The real life altogether, I mean the whole existence as such is not a self-contained reality. Existence is a manifestation of the first being, of the creator, one who gives existence a presence. Nefesh. One second, let me step back. And that element, that existence, let's understand the difference between saying it just exists or it's actually referring to and it's actually relating to the first being. When it just exists, it has no justification for being. It is not a real presence. When it is relating to a first being, that completely justifies its existence. It's a real presence. This is what nefesh provides. Nefesh brings chayes, which means it provides a real presence, not just I'm here, like the goof. Goof does not provide any justification for its existence. This is what the chayes nefesh. It's a living thing already immediately alludes and points to the source of life, because life is a proactive thing. It's a thing level. So the presence of nefesh has a message. It's not just exists, but there is a justification, and there is a significance of this existence. This is what nefesh brings into the goof. We said, I want to finish this. We said that in the foot, the chayes nefesh is only to the extent that the foot should not disintegrate. Why, in fact, is chayes? How is chayes related to the fact that the foot is not going to disintegrate? So we have a very simple illustration of this concept. We said there's a table. There's a table in the street. There's a table in the home. A table that's out of context does not have a reason for being. Therefore, it can be kicked around and not ultimately fall apart. And if it falls apart, nobody cares. Throw it in the garbage. A table in the house belongs there, and it has a chayus, so to speak. And if the table does happen to break, we know that it's going to be fixed or replaced. A table in the house is something which has a chayus, has a real basis for being. This is what nefesh brings, the chayus in principle. Brings to the goof, to the foot, that it has a basis for being. And this is why the foot does not disintegrate because due to the nefesh in it. Because the nefesh gives it a real presence. It's not just limited to the physicality, but it has a real presence. This nefesh provision is present in all the various limbs, but in all the various limbs, it is on different levels. Okay, now we have to interrupt, of course, the davening, and we'll finish it in Mitzvah. Tomorrow we are going to take a vacation, I think.